Ignore Hunter. 3, 2, 1. Hey! Welcome everybody. This is Lightly Toasted, but this is a very special edition one. It's a Father's Day edition with Bria and her fraiche.
I thought because of the fathers and the fathers of days, we should probably bring him out. As I talked about last time, this is one of the reasons why I like cooking so much and also have such a wide palette. He is also the OG, the #1 nerd of all nerds, kings of all kings. I used to call him, when I was in college, we'd watch a Marvel movie and be like, Dad, what does this mean? And he'd be like, okay, so when you start the movie, right? And he's like, in this one Easter egg, so they might do this and then do this, but then there's these things, and I'm like, it's amazing.
So this is why you knew all that Star Wars knowledge the other day,
yes.
and you didn't.
So it turns out I didn't have to watch Star Wars.
She just knew
you
everything.
just told me most of it, and she was quizzing me, and I was like, I don't know how I know this stuff.
So before we go on, please, introduce your dad to everybody. His name. I call him Sir, Your Honor, Your Grace.
He goes by the one and only Brad, aka Big Papa Pump, aka Pig Papa Sama, aka Give Your Money because I said so. We go what, BJ? This feels
BJ's
weird.
fine.
Sir, I have to call him
This is
Sir.
my dad.
Hi, everybody. So with that introduction, my name is BJ. I am Bria's father.
Half of my DNA. You can see from the guns.
And I'm very happy to be here today. So I guess what they did is they prompted you guys that there will be a lot of lecturing going on. I will try to keep it to a minimum, but I am kind of passionate on things that I'm interested in. So
We'll make sure to get into
I hope you guys like it.
Yeah.
Of course. How could you not?
A little background of you. Where what do you do? Where have you been? 'Cause you're really badass.
Certified.
Certified badass.
I am, start off, I am a retired Army captain.
Thank you for your service.
We've been around the world several times. I often say to people, I started kindergarten in Germany. I graduated high school in Korea.
Dang.
So I'm very adventurous. Hence my family is very adventurous. I have interesting hobbies. I'll run with the bulls.
Oh my God.
Jump in a cage and beat people up.
And turning his children into ninjas, because Krav Maga's banned from the home.
I kind of wish you need to adopt me as your, honorary daughter or something, because I need to be part of these adventures, seriously.
It means a martial arts course.
Oh my God.
Everyone must come through the gauntlet.
But yeah, so
awesome.
Yeah,
you want
you
to tell us
shoot
what we're
guns?
making today, guys? I'll be pouring some drinks. Would you like scotch or champagne or mimosa or anything?
I will have some scotch.
I got you, sir.
So when people are like, what are the cartoons that you watched as a kid? We watched Naruto in Japanese with subtitles.
Oh, did you?
So how to learn how to read fast, quick. We showed us the original, was it Godzilla? The original. The ones that he'll just have it. Yes, and so when 95% of the film is just looking at people, and you're like, that was him. I love that.
Yeah, because by that time, the Dragon Ball phase for us
Oh my
was,
God, you are not kidding.
Yes.
Well, there's a little thing. So I've have a long history. I've been into Dragon Ball since the 80s.
Oh, wow.
And when I originally brought Dragon Ball back to the States, I got a lot of, what the hell are you watching? What's wrong with his hair? So a lot of people weren't into Dragon Ball at the time, but by the time I came back to the States to go to college, we were just done with the Android 18, the Android saga.
Oh my God.
And then we were moving into, but you good?
Yes.
All right, but your mom loved this one. I used to watch when I would go back to Korea. My parents were still in Korea. While I was in college, I would stop in Japan, pick up things. Well, that's how I made money. That's how I was balling in college. So I'd either go on the way there or the way back. And when I came back, I would sell these things to comic book stores, hobby shops, things of that nature. And that's how I got some cash.
Nice.
So, until that gravy train dried up and my parents moved back to the States.
Oh, man, let me tell you, it is like encyclopedia-like. Like, I don't even Google shit. I just ask my dad.
No, that's
amazing. I'm not even
amazing.
joking. It's not even cute. I tell people all the time, I'm like, I'll ask my dad.
Your dad is more normie than us. Literally, that's the best way to put it. Oh my God.
Nah, he's more of a above average.
Well,
and eye
thank you.
contact, because I care about you.
Oh, yeah.
I know, bad sex apparently. I learned
Yes.
that from her, but
true.
from you, via you a long time ago.
Hey, if you don't want your parents to have a loving relationship, I don't know what else to do for you. Like, hate
man.
yourself somewhere else.
All right, guys. So,
So-
what do we got? It's been a day.
Today's theme, I'm a very big James Bond fan. More novels than movies.
Oh, really?
So what a lot of
So many
people
books.
don't understand, so James Bond is always seen with extravagance. He always eats expensive food, expensive things.
Pinkies up.
Everything has to be, very decadent and hoity-toity. But James Bond in the novels was not like that. And James Bond's favorite food is?
Toast.
Martinez.
Salmon.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry? Oh my God.
So it's actually eggs.
Okay.
Really?
Matter of fact, scrambled eggs.
Okay, awesome.
Really?
So Ian Fleming, it's mentioned him having this meal in at least 6 works. And in one of them, 007 in New York, it actually has a recipe for James Bond's scrambled eggs.
Right on.
We're not gonna follow the recipe exact, and I'll tell you why as we're making it.
Oh,
This
is
is
this
even better. Unique twist. I love unique twist recipes. That's the best part about cooking is because you can change it up whenever you want. That's why I would tell people at home, do how you want.
Do it.
facts? What's up?
Does someone want to acknowledge the fact there's a bird in our wall?
Yeah, there's a nest growing because
Yeah.
we here at the Normies care about nature, and so we right now are going to be selling bird eggs. If you would like to go
my
to the
God.
Patreon to purchase one of these eggs for the
We're
environment.
using some of the eggs in the dish.
using-
here.
right.
No bird eggs were harmed in the process of this.
So I had this keyed up, all right. So the recipe for scrambled eggs James Bond. For 4 individuals, it is 12 fresh eggs, salt and pepper, 5 to 6 ounces of fresh butter.
Okay.
Break the eggs into a bowl, beat thoroughly with a fork, and season well. In a small copper or heavily bottomed saucepan, melt 4 ounces of butter.
4 ounces.
Okay, we're
Yeah, this
getting
is
it.
not the most healthiest one.
We're getting it today.
When melted, pour in eggs and cook over a very low heat, whisking continuously until with a small egg whisk.
Oh, that like makes it fluffy, doesn't it? I think.
It does, but 2 things we're not gonna do. We're not gonna salt the eggs. We're not gonna season the eggs before.
Oh my God, he just made me so proud. This is
So-
the one I always tell everybody again. I'm like, you guys, you don't need to season, do everything at home. Like, everything has just like natural flavoring to it. Just like
No.
enjoy it as.
We are gonna season
We
it, but we're
season.
not gonna. We're not
But I
going
also-
to.
Yeah, but I know what you guys.
Like we're
So-
not a family that we're pro salt, pro everything, and so there was like
flavor.
no
pro flavor.
and there was like no question of it. But there was you use the vegetables for everything. Let me tell my dad. My dad. No worries.
Oh, we got this.
Cutting that part out. My dad would cook adult food for us as kids. So as an adult, I very much appreciate it. As a kid, I was like, Dad, why is this fish in orange juice? And with this, I'm excited though. We
I
have
am
all 12
too.
eggs though. Do you want to use all 12?
Yeah,
can,
we'll
let's do
use
it.
all 12
We're
eggs
doing
just so
it.
we could go.
We got all 12
so,
eggs. We're doing it.
cracking eggs. A lot of people have very,
making me
very
so
big
proud.
things about cracking eggs. Some people hate that you tap them on here and you crack them open because they figure you got to fish out the
The rest of the yolk.
rest of the
shell.
the shell. So some people prefer cracking it on the table
That's
first
so scary.
and then doing this. Now, I remember one time when I was in Korea, I used to work at a restaurant, and one of the things we had to do every morning was crack eggs. And I had one of my managers would sit there and have 2 eggs in his hands, and he would break them and crack them in his eggs.
Oh, hell no.
I've tried that several times. I don't know how he did it. I've never been able to master that, and I'm not gonna try today.
What was the restaurant?
Miss Penny's.
Miss Penny's.
Was it still there?
No, it actually was gone.
Bless.
Oh, we went back in 2018. My high school closed, so we flew back to Korea to go visit it or go to it for the final time, last class reunion. And while I was there, it's in Seoul, Korea. I lived in Osan. So we took a trip down there, and I wanted to go see my old haunts. And even though a lot of it
So
was the
cool,
same,
dude. I can't
a
believe
lot of
that.
them's changed.
So like, did your parents move to Korea first? Because you said you went to high school there. How'd you end up there?
Oh, we're like third generation or second generation military?
Second generation.
Wow. Okay, that makes sense.
So I was
then.
a military brat growing up.
So was Brie. She always
Brie.
says that. I'm like, you're not a brat though. Like,
Honestly, it kind of is because it's more of it's a different experience. Like I know people try to call it third culture kids now, but it was more so like how my parents talk to each other and how we get things is very different, and it's always like a reference to different cultures. So it's nice like when we make jokes and they're like multicultural, only get funny
Yeah.
in this one culture, they usually get it. But yeah, my grandparents, if they can pop up here, they come to Indiana. I'll meet them
I want to meet your
hilarious.
whole family. Next family reunion, please hit me up. I'm being serious.
One thing, and I know people have various opinions about the military, and
No, you did your time. I'm sorry. If you did your time, you
But-
have your opinion.
the military is a very good. It's a good cross section of the
Ecosystem?
country, right? Because it's a very diverse institution. Military has actually been the first to enact more social change than any other institution ever. So they first integrated African Americans and made them officers, even at a time where Jim Crow was still available. We promoted, women in the space. As recently, Don't Ask, Don't Tell has been lifted, even though that was there for a while. We recognize, even in the country we just came from, the military recognizes same-sex marriages, whereas the country we lived in did not.
It's Pride Month, y'all.
I had the honor of serving with two gay couples. Unfortunately, the husbands tend to be much better than the soldiers.
Oh, what about
I feel like I'm learning so many cool facts in between.
the guy with the beautiful eyes and his wife from Kazakhstan?
Oh yes,
Idar.
and my best friend Idar. Well, that was another thing. So being in the military, we got to go out and see a lot of things. One of them was I was sponsored a Kazakhstan officer.
What's up? I didn't know you guys got to sponsor officers as well.
Yeah, we did. We sponsored. We sponsor. We train a lot of troops. There's a lot of back and forth. And Idar became part of the family.
He's taking my place.
So that's why there's room. But he was so sweet. I didn't even know the kid. He was really cool, and he's always talking about everything. He's like, we do it.
Yeah, but he sounded exactly like Borat.
I feel like I'm learning so much between not just about you guys, but about the world now, stuff that I never knew.
Well, it's a good way. But moving on, because I'm actually getting hungry. I haven't eaten anything.
Oh, here we go.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna whisk the eggs. So the reason we don't want to salt the eggs first, and there will be fights about this, and
I'm not gonna
ready
fight
for
you.
it. Usually when you put salts in the whites and stuff like that, it can bind them up. It can actually make them a little bit gummy or whatnot. So I like to cook them and salt them later if you're gonna do that. So we're gonna try to break these yolks first.
Man, you know so much. It's between cooking, history, everything. I'm very impressed.
So we're gonna try to get as much air into this and make these frothy. So we want them to get light. We don't want to whip them too much because we'll actually start making meringue, and that's not what we want.
Oh,
okay.
I did not know that me back in the day, because I used to eat so much eggs, not as much,
Well,
I'd go and add milk. I'm like,
well, meringue is usually made with egg whites, but we have white whites here, the protein with nature. But if you start seeing them fluffy and you start getting what we call peaks, where it'll start standing up, that's not what we want.
honestly, I have no upper body strength. I would not ever be able to make meringue. I'm like,
What do you mean? Look at those arms.
look at Brittany's arms.
You got bicep? No, look at we're essentially the same size, so it's easy to get us confused.
I have some catching up to do, guys. This is embarrassing.
I do ask, can we have a slow motion montage of my father and I flexing when he used it
Use
for the
that last.
25th
I'll send it
anniversary?
to you.
So a good indicator that you have the eggs are whipped enough is that they're gonna get a little bit lighter than what you started with. So you don't want them. You can get them lighter means that you got enough air into them.
I see.
And they're kind of frothy, and this is actually where we want to be.
Nice.
So we should have that, making sure there's no stray yolks that we haven't killed.
What is that?
There's probably people
what's
working
that?
outside.
What is that?
Would you like some meringue?
No worries.
Welcome to the
All right.
normies.
So we're gonna set that aside for right now.
Awesome. It
And-
looks beautiful. It looks light.
Now we
Light and
need
light.
the butter.
All right, we have unsalted butter because we have 12 eggs and we're gonna use how much butter? They said 4
4 ounces.
4 ounces of
Oh
butter.
no! We're gonna use what we did, 12 eggs. We're probably gonna use more than that. And
So that's 4 ounces right there. We're gonna do another 4 ounces. I'm just saying, we're about to honestly, we're drinking this morning. We need this in our system.
We need the fat.
We need the fat. I'm not gonna. You wanna tell me a little bit about how your relationship has been growing up and
It's adventurous. It's always a learning period because when two smart people know that they're smart, and then you have kids that are smart, and then it's been fun. It's been very informative. I'll be honest, a part of my childhood, especially when he's younger, it was hard when my dad was deployed.
Yeah.
I remember in Baumholder I used to cry a lot, but this is the only time I'm gonna admit this because everything else I'm a hardcore killer.
we all know Brie.
But it was very sad, and it was a lot of stress and worrying, especially when his last deployment, just ensuring that my dad was okay.
Yeah.
But when the times that we did have him, there was a reacclimation period when people talk about stress and how it affects the body, you see it more immediately, but my dad always took it very much in grace, and I'm very proud of him.
Oh, that's amazing.
When we grew up, my dad taught me Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so that was a very good.
Shut up.
Yeah, he got. I have 2 silver medals from one
my God,
tournament,
dude.
but I do want to get back. But my dad competed a lot, and so I got to see through him how people can maintain hobbies while having kids. Both of my parents, having a life outside of kids.
That's the secret to raising kids.
Like being able to
Go
juggle
choke
everything.
people
Let
outside.
me tell
so
you what
can't
he used
choke
to
your
do.
kids.
My fucking 10-year-old self, he's like, let me show you how to do this move, right? And then he puts his knee on my chest, and then he puts it all the way down. And he's like, so when are you choking someone out, right? And I'm like,
Wait, am I gonna be choking somebody out as a 10-year-old?
but I was a G though, so all my muscles were fit. I was like, I can get out of this. You know my
The
moves.
guy in 5th grade, you took my teddy bear.
But it was also helpful because like in the tournaments, I got to train with everyone who was my dad's size. So doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with everyone my dad's size, took the fear of anyone can catch his hands. It is how the body is just a big bottle of mechanisms and joints, and you just have to put it in certain places to win. And it helped during tournaments because when I fight women who are my size, I'm used to having like 200 plus people that I'm rolling with.
Dude. Remind me not to fight you when I'm drunk or something.
Oh, now let me tell you the best thing. We used to play King of the Hill.
Like the show?
Yes.
Yeah, no, in jiu-jitsu training.
I'm sorry, I'm like,
was
I
King
haven't
of
even
the-
seen the show, so I don't even know why I'm like the
It
show.
was king of the mat, and what basically happened is you had one person out on the mat, and then another person would roll. So when we spar, we call it rolling. You would roll. If you won, you stayed in. You're the king.
Oh my
and if
God.
you lost, you went out, and then there's a new king.
It's a big stamina thing. Here's the thing. When Dad says, it is Dad sitting on the floor, handing out whoop ass so gently.
my God.
He's like, do you want
My
this?
dad did not whoop my ass
Do you
like
want this? It was a lot of fun, and with that, I appreciated a lot. We traveled a lot, and I feel like that really helped a lot with understanding other people and also learning how to rebound, but also just seeing how different people moved, and I appreciated that. My
definitely.
parents are also fucking crazy.
Honestly, if I actually met your dad now, I can't even imagine your mom and dad together. They must be a force.
Oh, let me tell you about them. So I had to call them a few times because they will just leave. Hey, we're gonna go somewhere. Just watch that. Make sure they're okay. Bye. I'm like,
Oh
where
my
are you
God.
going? And I look on they're like 360. They're in Thailand. I said, excuse me.
Did
Excuse
you not
me.
take me with
Why
you?
is no one telling me you're doing these trips? One time they went to Spain. I was like, what? The? And they came
I
in
feel
like, yeah,
so
we ran with the
inspired for
bulls.
my
And I'm
life
like,
now.
what's going on? They were, it was a very good example of just.
Well,
keeping
I'm
it
going to tell the bull
inspiring.
story because I'm still salty about this.
No, I want to hear the story too that you were telling Hunter
Which
where you
one?
like,
Which one?
oh my God, something where you locked somebody. Oh, what was it?
Oh, I choke people out all the time. It's
That's a-
actually a very common occurrence.
He choked me out every Saturday.
Last
I
time
need to
was
learn, I need to
yesterday.
I need to learn. I have a lot of people to choke out my life.
No, but the running with the bull story was is kind of one of my salty tales because I always wanted to go run with the bulls.
Yeah.
I've seen it done. That's that kind of person I am. If I see something, I want to say, okay, I'm gonna try it. So we went down, the first time was just me and my wife, and we went to go run the bulls. I ran. So for those who don't know, in Pamplona, running with the bulls is actually a 2-week, it's not a one-time thing, something that happens over a 2-week period, and it happens every day at 8 o'clock for a 2-week period.
Like at PM or AM?
AM.
Oh my
AM.
God.
Oh yeah, so that's when you're still fighting your hangover.
There's
for the night
vomit
before.
on the bus.
I'm like, that'll cure your hangover, a bull.
But
Also,
so
he just told us he was going to Spain. He's like, you're going with a babysitter, it'll be cute. And like, we're going to Spain. I was like, bet. We learned all of this after they came back.
I need your life.
So we went, and I ran the first time. My wife sat up on the balcony and watched, and then she was like, oh, I can do this. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna give you a brief. You're on your own.
Wait. Your wife wanted to run with the bull. Your mom?
Yes. So she wanted to run, so I said, okay, we can do it. I said, but when it starts, when the bulls are coming, you are on your own. Don't entertain no romantic idea that we're gonna be running hand in hand and all that stuff like that.
fuck no.
No, this is hardcore parkour. You're on your own.
This is your life or death? Are you kidding me?
And when it feels like an earthquake.
It does. So we ran, and then next year we came back and we brought the whole family and grandma.
Don't tell
It
me.
was
you
a
ran.
great road trip.
And,
Oh yeah.
she ran, so Bria ran. But this is the salty part. So you're not allowed to have filming equipment. You cannot take film, you can't GoPro it or anything like that while
The
you're
police will get
running.
you.
Yeah, the police will snatch you out
They're
if
like,
they see
I
you.
see you.
What they do have is they'll have cameras hanging around and they'll take pictures at various parts of the run, and then afterwards you go to the different photo
Oh, so
shops.
like at the fair or
Yeah,
whatever,
you go
roller
right. So like you go on the roller coaster and you go and you
take
get your
picture.
same thing. So I've been looking for a good shot of me running with the bulls and never had a good one. I always had I had good pictures, like, okay, here I am, the bulls here. There was never a
that one perfect shot
that
you
perfect
would
shot.
In the middle.
Bria and my wife go and they run, and that was their first run, first time.
Don't tell me.
And they got excellent shots.
Oh my God.
I was so mad. We were walking around and they're like, oh, you see this? I'm like,
Yeah. Like, I've been doing this for years.
Let me tell you on our side. So my father gives us the briefing. He's like, you're on your own. If you're a child of mine, you may survive. But if you don't, survive. And I'm like, okay, bet. He's like, don't tell people your name because I don't have the insurance for it. And so my mom and I are going. We start in the middle of the course. My dad starts way back at Dead Man's Curve. There's a steel wall.
So there's two different points where you can start from?
you could start anywhere up. So there's a part there's a part there. There's a part from the gates to where you could start, and it's probably about 50 meters or so. I don't know exactly.
I don't care if it's like
But
1,000
then
meters.
you have what's called Dead Man's Turn, and Dead Man's Turn is because bulls don't corner too well. So all around the route is like these wooden, scaffolding to corral the bulls into the arena. Except for Dead Man's Current, where they have steel plates up.
As a steel wall.
Because the bulls will come and they slam because they can't turn.
Has anybody died from this?
Yes.
Actually,
Actually-
we got gored when we were there, actually.
You guys had like
Yeah, there was
sign
a
like,
guy
hey,
that-
I might die, release form?
There was a guy that died. Guy got gored when we were there, when they were
Through
there.
his quad.
There was a guy who got gored in the neck and he died. And then the last time I went, a matador actually died. He got gored in the stomach and died. And I actually watched that one live. That was
Oh man, I can't. I'm gonna drink to that. I can't do
So I always say a lot of people poo-poo it. Now I will say this, for the event, yes, it's old, it's archaic. I don't give a shit, it's fun. But it's also the meat and stuff, it's used to help to raise, to do things. So like a lot of it's to feed orphanages and stuff like that, and it generates a lot of revenue for the area. So
That's good.
there are some good for it, but I also say the bull doesn't always, the bull gets his own sometimes.
Yeah.
But in the words of Michael Jordan,
so
fuck
scared.
them kids. Because let me tell you what he did. So we're up at 5 a.m. I'm 16. 18 is the minimum age you're supposed to do to run it.
They
So
lie
we were
about
just
your age,
lit.
I love it.
Oh
Please
no,
tell
it's like the police walk through, and so I had little makeup on and be like, I'm old. I think it was the summer before my senior year in high school.
Yeah.
So we were doing it, and the police go by, we get past, it's great. We dodge the vomit on the bus because it's a party 24
That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
hours.
how's it at 8 a.m.? I'm pretty sure people over there are partying, they're having fun.
We were up at 5. 5. And so we popped in the night before we walked, and my dad's like, I'm gonna start here. Hopefully I see you in the Coliseum. And I was like, hopefully. And my dad disappears into the crowd. My mom and I are like, we are going to be together. I said, Mom, you're the only full Jamaican here, okay?
Oh
So
my
I need you
God.
to-
I can't lose you. I know where you are.
I
I
was
see
like,
you.
spirit bomb me some energy, man. Like, we gotta do this. So we go in and we're pausing, and I'm talking to the mom, like, ha, da, 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 da. The first shot goes off, poof, get ready. And I'm like, still talking, like, ha, 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 ha. Then all of a sudden, the earth started moving like this. Like, my vision.
Earth Nation. The Earth Nation.
It felt like Toph was getting her comeuppance, let me tell you. And mind you, what Dad didn't mention is a part of it, it's strictly uphill. So we had to walk uphill past this. We're starting in the middle of the course.
You had the training.
Dude, let me tell you, that bull humbled a lot of people. Like, we're running, my mom just starts snatching me off.
It is not one bull, it's like
Multiple.
Yeah, there's you have bulls and steers, and you have the bulls that are going to be fighting later. So they're the ones that are usually going to gore you, and then they have others. They have
tamed.
others that are tamed that they're there to guide those into the
I
arena.
literally cannot willingly put myself in that kind of situation.
Let me tell you.
I've been trying to go jump out of a plane and skydive. I still can't.
Oh, I finally did. It's so much fun. You should. It feels like you're
I did that for a living, so.
right. Oh, and that's a whole other thing. We need to have like a Q&A special of the
Yeah, we
shenanigans
do.
of your life.
Is it off, or am I putting it on?
Oh no, that's low. So
Okay,
that
where's
is off.
high?
High is this way. Yeah, you're perfect. now.
Okay, wait, I might have turned it off.
All right.
So
no fire.
We're
I
going,
promise.
I'm screaming, my mom's tugging me. We see this one bull fall. I'm looking at it like, oh my God, is it gonna get up? Because I think the wild bulls are all black and then the tame bulls are like tan.
So you know
Yeah.
the difference.
And
Yes.
a wild bull fell. And so I'm like, oh no. And I'm freaking out. My mom's like, I will throw you over this fence. I'm gonna slide under. Like if it happens, it happens. Like people,
Your
there's
mom's got
certain
like
divots.
superhuman strength, like my daughter.
Oh yeah, so we're running, and then they close the door for the Coliseum. So here's the two perspectives that's happening. You should probably take yours because you were inside it.
Yeah, I was inside.
So when you're running, you go to the Coliseum and there's like 3 shots. The first shot, the bulls are out. Second shot, all the tame bulls come out to get like any
like
stray ones.
stampede.
And then they close the Coliseum.
Yeah.
If you don't make it to the Coliseum, you technically have not run with the bulls.
Yeah.
So I go,
Oh, hell
and they
no. There's
close.
like a catch too.
Yes.
I'm risking my life and there's a catch. No, fuck that.
I haven't gotten to the crazy people. The reason why they close the doors is because people lay down, because it's good luck for a bull to jump over you, because they will. They'll jump over you. They're not going to go. They're on a mission. They're trying to go somewhere. So there's too many people laying down. The bulls freaked out and just stopped running. In the middle of the Coliseum doors, they close it. We're on the outside, about 3 people deep. We're in the farthest edge. And we hear the second shot, so there are tame bulls running. They've just opened up the gate. They're here like 40 seconds. I'm
Life
freaking
you
out.
guys live.
And so I'm telling my mom dumb shit. I'm like,
Yeah, you're literally going to your death. What the fuck?
No, they were out. They were still fine. They were outside.
Where my dad though.
I was actually stuck in there. So they came in, and one of the bulls fell. They were trying to do the whole, make the bull jump over you thing. One of the bulls fell, and then it became a pileup. So boom, 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 and so there was like pileup of bulls and people. I run into the air, and then there's a wild bull who is not piled up, and he's just roaming around. And I'm trying to run back to the door, and they shut the door. And I tried to ninja kick the door open, it didn't work. The door was closed, and I was stuck in there, and they were going. I couldn't see this on my side, but on the other side, when I saw the replay,
Oh my God, I need to go out this
they're pulling people out, and the bulls are coming. It was
People
this big
are crying.
pileup. So even after that, there's a second part to it. Whereas once all the bulls come in, so once they get all the bulls in, they shut the arena again, and then they release a younger bull back out.
So we're all stuck in here. We're stuck.
You're
with the
stuck
bulls.
in there, and they released this younger bull back out. What they're doing now is everyone is pretty much messing with this bull, and this bull is running around, grabbing people, flipping them up in the air.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But the horns are covered though.
Yeah, the horns are capped, so
You
these
forgot
won't go
this
you.
part. He said, "Run to the right of the run to the left of the Coliseum. We will meet on the left."
No, why
right?
is your dad like trying to give you instructions for like a horror movie or something?
So like it's people,
It's like a
bulls,
horror movie.
my dad, this bull, door, people, me, pulls by it back. So we're like, I'm like about to get gored in this back of there. I'm like freaking out. I'm trying to be like, I'm just like telling my mom random stuff. I'm like, I stole her lip gloves and stuff. We start running in, and there's police on the edge just pushing people off the walls. I get punched in the face. It was mostly because of my height, not because they were like I'm gonna deck you. It was more like, you are at the level of the baton I am. So my nose is bleeding. My mom starts to tear up. Blood's rushing down my shirt. I'm like, I don't care. We got to go. We got to go to the left. We got to go to the left. We're gonna find Dad. It'll be great. Because when they were shooting, as soon as they opened the doors, we saw the tame bulls at the end of the street. Like we saw them coming up, and we were like, oh my goodness, this actually might be a thing. What are we gonna do? Because we were all in a stone wall place, there's no gates. We run to the left, and I remember bulls coming behind me. And so we're running to the left, and I'm looking for my dad. I'm like, Dad, where is he? I don't see him. I start freaking out. I'm
No,
like,
bro,
Mom.
I can't even deal. Did you guys ever have like, if this is a normal, quiet family vacation, what's your like most boring one? Jesus, like this sounds like this like
I don't
normal
think we had a
life.
boring.
What's like oh. Because this sounds like this is like your everyday life now. Oh my God.
Because there was in Amsterdam, and I did too much stupid stuff, and we were trying out shenanigans, and I lost my phone, my wallet, my keys, and I was having a good time.
Please take me with you guys for a month anywhere.
There was Belgium. My parents have helped me escape a country. Illegally.
Oh yeah, this is. Thank you.
No.
So yeah, this is where I was about to strangle Bria.
I literally cannot even say, please adopt me.
So
You
Put
escaped.
this on camera?
yeah,
Escaped
but
a country?
she was she had.
Hell no,
technically.
girl, hell no.
Bria was in college in Paris, and this is when not the Charlie Hebdo, it was the other one at the nightclub. So it was a terrorist attack that happened in Paris.
They shot everybody up.
So
It was very sad.
we were going to Terramina's, is an Italian restaurant we like to go to. So we're literally sitting down in Terramina's, and we're watching the TV, and they're like, they're talking about this attack in Paris. So we're like, oh shit, let's call Bria. So we're calling Bria, and Bria's not answering. So I'm like, fuck this, I'm going. We're getting out of here, and this is how cool people at Terramina's were. They know Bria was in college and stuff like that, and they know us.
The best
And they were
pizza.
just like, go, don't worry about anything, just go. So I'm running to go back and to drive down to Paris.
To Paris.
I'm about to do some
Like
Liam.
y'all like some foreign country.
Yeah, I'm about to do some Liam Neeson's. So
I will find you.
So we get there, and she finally calls us, and she was hesitant, and I was like, where are you, Bria? She's like, I'm in Belgium. And I'm like, I said, are you paying attention to what's going on right now? And the thing was, and this is where she messed up.
Because I thought I had it in my suitcase. I usually always have it on my
your
head.
passport?
I didn't. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're overseas, obviously.
So
anytime you cross borders, you want to have your passport with you, or your documents that allow you to travel.
Did you have a U.S. passport?
Yes.
Yeah,
so
okay.
it wasn't with me. Here's the thing. So we went to Belgium, right?
Yeah.
And we were doing it with a Flixbus. My friend lost all her stuff in Amsterdam. Someone stole her shit. So I met up with her. We were dealing with this. So when they were talking about it, the bartender, I was at the bar of the hostel I was at.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
And so I didn't know my parents were calling me. And so until they started pulling down the screen and the bartender goes, hey, isn't that where you're living? And I'm like, yeah. He said, Paris is getting attacked right now. And I was like, oh shit, I need to call my parents. I look up 15 missed calls. I'm like, fuck.
This is like a movie.
Hey.
I swear to God. This is like a movie.
So my parents are like, get home. I'm like, bet. I go through my suitcase. My passport's not there.
Well, she couldn't go back to. You couldn't go back to Paris anyway without.
Shut the country
Did
down.
you hear about the border or something?
So she had another passport to get in with. The other girl, she had to get her landlord to go into her apartment and get her passport and send it to us. So they had to spend until they were able.
Oh my God.
Yeah, until they were able to go back in.
Because they weren't trains were being turned around, buses were being turned around.
You couldn't go in. I was about to go in. I was like, look, I'm coming into Paris.
It's like a zombie movie. Holy shit.
Yeah,
So,
that was very secured. I always knew my parents were the shit, but that was a scary moment, but I was very thankful because my parents hesitant.
Bro, they drove and got you from a different country.
I mean,
they took the train. We didn't. We were on our way to Paris. But she, when she told us,
intention. I'm literally going to Paris.
So go back to the eggs real quick.
This is such a fun story.
We're gonna do half of this mixture right now. We're gonna pour the eggs in while this is bubbling. So this is why we didn't use force. So you see how much oil there is on there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be delicious, but we don't want it too much. Now the key with making eggs, especially scrambled eggs, is you got to keep them moving. So you got to keep them moving while they're going.
That's what James Bond does. He's always moving so bad guys don't get him. You know?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna admit it. I've never seen James Bond. I've never read the novel. I've never done anything. I only know of Halle Berry because I was
iconic scene.
Yeah, iconic scene was coming out that's all I remember. And it was Bronson?
Oh yeah, Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
I went to school with Sean Connery's granddaughter.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Sean Connery. He can't say his S's. I love him. I love him.
Oh.
He's like one of the older men that I find attractive.
But here's the thing. I didn't know what the fuck Sean Connery was. So I'm like, she's like, oh yeah, my grandfather Sean Connery. I'm like, that's cool. I tell my dad, I'm like, yeah, one of my friends said this is her grandpa. Like we weren't close, but we had
Sean Connery, Brie.
And my dad goes, what? And I'm like, yeah, he's like somebody famous, I guess. And he goes, what?
Sean Connery. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I'm very willfully oblivious sometimes.
I love Sean Connery.
All right, so we're done moving the eggs, and we just did a little one. Can pass me a plate.
Of course.
I think we're just
So one thing about eggs is that they have, when you're cooking scrambled eggs, they have what's called carryover. So they're still carrying over, they're still cooking in this pan. So one of the things you want to make sure you do is that you don't want to keep, like when you think eggs are done in the pan, they're actually overdone. So when they look a little bit done, you want to actually take them out and you want to have carryover.
Bro, I burned so many eggs then.
Yes, most people do. So as you can see, there is a lot of butter in this, and this is why we're not gonna follow James's exact recipe.
I mean, they're just trying to kill us, I think.
But we are gonna still eat these eggs. We're gonna
James Bond.
We're gonna dress them both up. So what we're actually gonna do is we're actually gonna use a tablespoon of butter.
Oh man, Brie, your mom is so lucky to be traveling and having a cook and all this like.
Oh, he's not the only cook. Let me tell you there.
Yes, thank you.
But he also, unfortunately, I really wish I'd liked steak. If you were a child who liked steak, you would have loved our home.
I love
He
steak.
would make steak all the time, and I wish I'd liked it. I really do.
How do you
I
like
don't
your steak? I have to know.
Rare.
He likes
Rare?
it to moo. He would like it to go.
All right, we're a little unalike in that aspect.
I mean, sometimes you don't even have to cook it, because my favorite French dish is tartare de boeuf.
Same. I love that. Tartare de boeuf is delicious. And also, Spidey has never had it. I just told him what it was the other day. I'm like, yeah, it's just raw beef, and then you put eggs in it. And he goes, what? I'm like, yeah, raw egg
and
with onions.
Yeah, in our country, actually in Jordan, we have something similar to that. It was like raw meat with like seasoning in it.
Like kipfu.
Yeah. But yeah, people would just like eat it raw.
So
they tried to convince me, but I couldn't do it.
As you see here, you notice we don't have as much oil. That's why you don't use 4 ounces of butter.
Yeah.
But this was a different time. So what we're gonna do, we still do the same thing. We wanna keep the eggs moving, all right, as they start to settle. When it starts to set, you just wanna keep moving it. And I said, all you gotta do is just keep moving it in one direction. A lot of people like to scramble and chop them up, and I'm like, that's,
I like it like that. That looks like mountains of fluff.
Yes.
There's actually a great debate in our household because my mom likes dry scrambled eggs and my dad likes them runny. I like depending on what I'm eating, but he makes delicious, like Gordon Ramsay at me, best eggs I've ever
Oh my
tasted.
God, guys, after like a certain amount of lightly toasted, like Gordon Ramsay has to be here.
I just want him to put bread on my face and call me an idiot sandwich. Just once.
God,
what are
really?
you? An idiot sandwich.
Oh my God. Okay, I have to know, as we're making the eggs and everything, what is your favorite Father's Day, if you guys had like an event or anything, have you guys done together?
When my dad was home.
Oh.
Yeah, that was usually.
Really?
When my favorite thing we
There
did
we
for
go.
you.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for.
It's not Father's Day, but it's when he came home from deployment, we had a countdown because we were hyped because they kept extending it.
That's
these
so sad.
videos.
They kept extending it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, it's also very normal. So there's a lot of things in my life that I talk with my therapist about, and I'm kidding, I'm not.
Therapy, I was side note real quick. Do therapy. Even if you don't think you have anything, it's good to talk.
Yeah, just get a signed bill of health so you can use it on your friends. Be like, no, my therapist said I'm okay. No,
But go on. I'm so sorry.
Truly, I loved it because we made different skits of counting down of him coming home. And so like, we were like major pain on one, and I think it's my brother's dressed up in my dad's uniform, and he's swimming in it. Dun, 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 dun,
Please
dun,
tell
dun,
me you
dun,
have
dun,
this.
dun, 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 dun.
Please
If
tell
you
me
guys
the
can remember,
footage.
find that name of that song. That's the song of our family. I feel like that should be the motto. Like, how are the Bradleys? And we did that song coming back. We had him doing a Dracula.
If you have any videos of that, we will post it. We will post it on the internet. Please send me photos of everything you talked about.
Oh, but I had to see if my mom had it. But I really enjoyed that. It was just so nice when he came home. So I remember just waiting there, and my mom, she's like, "You'll know when your father is here." And I had my glasses, and you see everyone's like walking, and my dad. I'm like, there he is.
Call yourself with grace and his honor.
Yeah.
I feel like I literally have to call your dad his honor, sir. Like,
You can call me HRH. No, I'm saying. No, it's my dad. It's been honestly, I've been enjoying a relationship as adults because I feel like a lot of people. What is it like having an adult kid?
yeah.
Because being an adult kid with parents, it's nice realizing you guys are people.
Well,
They're
Like,
people.
yeah, like they are people. They're not as mom and dad. Like they have their own life. They were doing a lot. Like
Yeah.
So the best thing about having adult kids is that you can't go to jail for abandoning them.
He's like, when I got off the T-Mobile bill, that was the happiest day. He was
Are
like,
you serious?
The clouds parted.
So the thing any parent wants is that they want their kids to have a good life and prepare them for a good life.
Be independent and everything.
Be independent.
Yeah.
Like I often say, you cannot be growing under someone else's roof.
Yeah.
So we want you to, we want to have the best, and we're going to try to prepare you for the best. Some of the lessons you may not learn or not get until you get older, because let's be honest, when you're young, you're dumb, you're stupid, you think you know everything, and
I do.
you realize
I do.
you realize that you don't. And then when you do realize, oh man, you know what, I was a freaking moron back then.
I will say, yeah.
I'd
When
never
I was
hear my
18,
balls.
I'm 31 now. When I was 18,
31?
oh, Bria, I'm gonna kill you.
Jeez, no, like I thought we were like.
Anyway, like when I was 18 versus now, I'm like, wow, my thought process then versus now is so different. And did I like not realize some things?
Full
But
crackhead energy.
literally.
You do that, because it's when you're young, you're invincible. We all go through that phase.
Invincible.
Where you think, it's not going to happen to me. It's not going to, they say, oh, don't do
I'm
that. It's not going to happen to
different.
me. Oh, blah, 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 blah. And it can happen to you. But you beat the odds. But the thing is, when you get up and you start appreciating you're self-sufficient, that is the best thing a parent wants. I want you to be self-sufficient. I want you to be able to provide for yourself and learn how to live life as you see fit.
Yeah.
Because all the stuff that we did, you can do for yourself, or you could do more.
And you can do better and more. That's what I'm trying to say. There's always room for improvement.
But
always.
the most important thing to take from this, though, and this is a great philosophy for life, is when you're an adult, you're able to be a kid properly.
Yes.
Oh my
Honestly, you know what, to be honest, that's the biggest thing I learned from my parents.
Because you're like you're yourself. You're self-assured. You have the money. You have the confidence. Like you're
But
like set in
also-
life. You have a goal. You have like a journey.
It's
But
like,
so, yeah.
don't stop being a kid, and that's what my parents really were adamant about. And so it was nice seeing that, because a lot of people would be like, well, my parents are just home. And I'm like, my parents bought us Nerf guns, and we started a Nerf battle.
Dude, your parents left to go to Barcelona randomly.
And that was lovely. And what I'm hearing from my dad is I'm the favorite child right now. So Jordan Nichols, you can suck it.
Oh my God.
Ah!
We're doing this. It's
So
on the
another
internet. It's
another
done.
key parenting skill is that when you have more than one kid, you let them know that there is a favorite, and you let them fight amongst themselves to figure out which one it is.
It's me, obviously.
Is that really okay? You know,
No, not
so I
about
grew up an only child.
We did, because we tried to push it on them.
Yeah.
We started yelling at my parents like, "Who's the favorite?" And they were like, "It's me!" And then that's when it stopped. And then my parents, no, it's actually not even that. My parents were like, "You guys are fucking weird." Like he'd be like, "Guys, you guys in your car."
This is why I need to be adopted from you
Applebee's.
guys, because I'm an only child and I have not experienced it.
Oh, I highly recommend have 3 kids. Don't have
Really?
2.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
and so when I
You
have
can't
my
do
third
this
dog-
to me. You can't tell me I gotta have 3 kids.
Oh yeah, we'll get 2 more puppies. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, puppies. Yeah,
Same
I'm
vibe.
a dog mom. I'm a dog
I told my
mom.
parents they can name their grand dog. These look some really good eggs. Though.
I know. They look so like.
You know, I haven't seen you in a bit, and so I keep forgetting how big your biceps are, and so I'm just like,
So
What
that's
we
my
want
So-
to do to start finishing them off, we're going to put in a little bit more butter.
So when did you realize I was the favorite?
Brie.
It was at birth. It's okay, you can tell
It's
them.
Brie. Come
We
on.
know. No one, they're not gonna watch
Family's
this.
watching. Family's watching.
No, I love you, Bastion and Nico. There's no sibling rivalry at all. We're really independently our own people.
That's what's
There they
up.
are.
That's what's up.
They're
No,
all
that's-
their own people, and that's good. That's a good thing. They're very good. They're very close together.
Yeah.
So.
So are you the oldest? Let
Yes.
people know.
But here's also the thing that I got beef with. That every time I come over the house, we gotta fight. I am
But
the
is it
eldest.
real family or siblings if you don't fight and argue?
And here, and it
That's
isn't
what I
an
believe.
argument.
Again, it's the only child. I don't believe it's like if you guys aren't like that, you guys aren't even close.
So we gang up on my parents on this.
Yeah.
I'm 5'3". My sister's 5'10".
Oh fuck.
My brother's 6'2".
All right, you're the oldest, but you're the baby.
I'm
You're-
shorter than
you're-
everybody.
You're the little big sister.
I don't understand. They kind of try to woo me. They're like, drink your milk and you'll be tall. I drank it. I did it. But
So you're
I enjoy it.
24.
Yes, we're 21 years apart. Very rigmarole, very above the statistics. My parents did a lot, and they had me in college. And so with that, also got their college degrees. Everyone's educated up in here. It took a lot, and that was.
Indubitably.
I mean, you guys have heard all the stories. They're well more traveled than any one of us here.
But it was also, it's a very understanding, like I couldn't raise a child at 21. Like, first of all, no.
Right now, I'm looking for my next festival ticket. I'm like, you want to go?
Right, I think my 21st birthday, I don't remember it. And so when I was like talking to them, and with that, what I liked is like, especially through my mom, it was always a conversation. There was no like, we know everything. It's more like, we're kind of figuring this out.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm not really sure how this goes.
So like, when do you like? I guess, sir, feel like you're an adult? I guess you say like you always want to be a
When
kid.
you can pay for, well, see, when
Like,
you're,
when
your
does it feel
adult
like
is when you,
adulthood? I still don't
adulthood
feel
is
like
about,
adults.
adulthood is about taking care, I usually say handling your business, all right? If you can handle your business, you're adulting.
I'm 75% there.
It's a thing, but when you could take care of your own stuff,
I can take care of myself.
your work-life balance, leisure, relationships, things like that. Your mental health, well, all this goes into your mental health, right? Because your mental health is going to be it's going to be based off of how well you're handling life. And life is great. Life also sucks at times.
It does.
And so resiliency is a very big part, and it's hard. I'm not saying none of this is going to be easy. If you got to work on it, so you have to make it a priority. So you have to think about not just your physical health is actually going to be your biggest indicator of helping your mental health. If your physical health is good, it's going to help. It's not a cure-all, but it's going to help deal with mental issues. It's going to help with stress and all that stuff. And it's basically just finding a way to deal with life. These are pretty much done. I'm going to put these here.
Oh, yes.
It's just about dealing with life. You're going to deal with so many things that are going to come up. and I always say you always try to be prepared when life turns sideways. You never know when that's going to happen.
Yep.
All right. No one plans. I was told, like, you ever tripped and fall? No one plans to trip and fall.
But you get through it.
But you have to get up, you
Yep.
scrape it off, you rub some dirt in it, and you move on.
But it's also okay. Well, I feel like a lot of people too for that, and what I got to learn from them, it's like it's okay to have that time to comfort yourself, because some people just do. It's okay if you take some time for that,
Yep.
and the people who love you will have the patience to let you find that.
Oh my God, that looks so pretty.
We're gonna serve these up several ways.
Do you need more plates? We got
Yeah,
this.
but wait, we got other stuff to do before we get those on there.
What do
So
you
we're
need
gonna
that
start prep.
That looks so pretty though.
So first thing we do, we toast some toast.
Toast some toast. We got some sourdough and we got some wheat white.
We'll do both.
Both right
We
on.
got some wheat and white.
But yeah, you just gotta make sure you take time for self-care. But you learn the balance, right? So a lot of times people hear self-care and they think only myself. No.
Definitely. Wait, do we need more than one
Not-
toast?
Oh yeah, I'm getting the other one.
We'll
yeah.
do both, and we'll show.
Oh.
We're gonna plate this up different ways so we can show different ways to show this off.
Oh, the biggest lesson my dad taught me is always establish dominance everywhere.
Rule
Oh my
number
God,
one.
Rule number one, establish
Rule number
dominance. Rule number two, have a way to kill at least everybody in the room.
Be prepared to kill everybody.
I will say
in the
one
room.
thing about your daughter. She is definitely a force of like life and energy and like just like amazingness and positivity and stuff.
right?
Like she's come on camera and people immediately have like fell in love with her and like, oh my God, Bria the Queen. They've called you so many. I can't even like think of all like the names and praises they've gave you, but yeah, I can see now like where she gets it from, honestly.
Truly, and but you see it, like my dad is very much, he comes out whenever I do anything technical or anything that I'm like, oh, no, I know this. And I do.
Yeah.
My dad, when he went to officers training, we learned the guiding hand. We like to not lovingly call it a slap motherfucker, because here's the thing, is like, I'm gonna guide you to it, but if you don't get it,
It's gonna turn into
out
like
here.
a slap. Like
But it
I'm
was
trying
palms
nicely.
up. Do you remember when you came back home and you were teaching us?
Yes, the guiding hand. Like you ask someone a question, it's like, well, that's not what we're looking for. Can you? I'm gonna
Stop being
guide
an
you into that thing.
I like
It's a
that.
kinder, gentler. They were
Yeah.
basically trying to tell me not to.
Honestly, it's like when we watch Naruto and Naruto has like talk no jutsu kind of thing. Like he can talk his way out of anything. It's like you're just like you have to like start a conversation, talking kind of like, you know, this is how you kind of see it.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta slap them up. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna actually, while this toasting, we're gonna do a sort of, I don't want to call it a sauce, but a little bit of a sauce for the eggs and the salmon. So we're gonna use creme fraiche, sour cream, or crema will all do. They'll all work. Actually, I'm actually more into siding to Mexican crema because it has a lot more buttery
It was
taste.
so hard to find in Indiana, apparently, guys.
I'm surprised you found creme fraiche.
Yeah, literally, that's a feat.
I thought we were gonna make it, so.
I went to Whole Foods to find this, but I usually have this really dope-ass Hispanic store I go to up north, but it was too late to go to, unfortunately.
What we're gonna do so for this one, we are just gonna top it with a little creme fraiche.
I was reading, it's like definitely not sour cream. 'Cause I'm like, what's the difference between this and this and that? Like,
So this is, you could actually make creme fraiche from sour cream. So you can make this at home yourself, but it's basically the acidity into
it looks so pretty.
Tarragon, by the way.
tarragon. So tarragon is like, if I might be wrong, so someone's gonna correct me. I want to say it's close to mint, but it does have a nice, really refreshing flavor, and it actually goes great with eggs. And then another knife.
Wait, it smells like licorice. If you break it down, it smells like licorice. Like
Do you like licorice?
not black licorice. I'm sorry, I tried so hard.
Racist.
I tried. There's like only certain ones like that, like the really good ones are actually like made, because like the Twizzler black ones and all the other.
I don't believe in that.
So with this, we're gonna put a little bit more acid with the lemon juice. So it's usually like acid. Like a lot of people make creme fraiche with vinegar. You can find it out.
I really want to make it homemade so bad.
Dill. Where's the dill?
Oh, we have some there. I couldn't find fresh dill, and it made me so
I
upset.
plan on growing some.
Cut those in diagonals.
Diagonals? Gotcha.
Yep.
Do you want
Wait,
another
so
one?
where is James Bond from, technically?
So
Yeah.
James Bond is a very common misconception. Most people think
Nice.
James Bond is from, what rule is this?
Rule 34 is not it. I know that.
Rule, how you put it away and handle it.
Rule number 9.
Rule number 9, always
Always
carry
carry
a
a
knife.
knife.
Brie.
I know because rule 34, if it exists, there is porn.
Oh. Oh wait.
I actually got Spidey got on that because once you meet the whole family and you'll understand.
I'm telling you, Bria, I'm gonna be very, very upset at the next event I'm not there. I'm gonna take it personal. It's on camera.
Oh, we started playing Among Us together. Let me tell you about my father over here, right? We played one time together. And he was like, okay, bet. He said, oh, bet. My dad went into a hole.
Did you like look up strategy? Like,
he was implementing strategy.
I'm competitive. I'm so competitive. I looked up everything.
They're like, oh yeah, I went and did my task. I'm gonna come back and self-report. Because it wouldn't be like, oh, I killed him and then immediately self-reported.
Yeah.
I was gonna go, and if someone else found it, fine. But then I was gonna come back and self-report to throw shade.
Oh my God, it's so hard to keep up with that game.
The minute I did it, I was like, oh, they said it's you. It's you.
It's like, dude, I learned, like, I have to take, because I can never remember all my tasks and everything. It's like, what were you doing? I'm like,
out here doing hood shit with my friends.
I was in the computer room, I'm like, you're not gonna get me.
I would also like to say one of my fondest memories from that, compared to that, because my dad's he's very smart, and I appreciate having that.
Your dad is multiple things I'm learning today.
But he's also multifaceted, because I didn't know he did theater until I stole the photos from my the grandparents, and there's beautiful photos of him doing theater. But I remember we were on Fort Bragg, and you were driving up, because we watched RuPaul's Drag Race when RuPaul's Drag Race had a soft light. Let me tell you, my dad will never admit to it, but it was on. My mom and I would buy, hey, Katie girl. My dad looked me in the eye as we're talking. And I was like, Dad, you know kids are shits. So I'm like, Dad, and he goes, oh, Bria, don't be jealous of my boogie. Don't be jealous of. And then he went, you may say that you are not, but I was like,
were you shocked or proud?
Both, but as a kid, I was like,
all right, here we go. This looks so.
I'm hyped.
Okay, wait, where's he from? Like somewhere in Europe? Because this looks so like.
No, James Bond. So most people think James Bond is English.
That's what I think.
He is not. He is actually Scottish and Swiss. His father is from Scotland. His mom is from Switzerland. Except for Skyfall. That's the only time they actually talk about his roots.
Okay.
Being Swiss and Scottish.
I did not know he liked eggs.
Me neither. I'm just saying, like, this seems like such like European, nice, like light,
The reason I got the smoked salmon, mainly because in 007 in New York, he has this, like I said, in six writings of Ian Fleming, he specifically mentions James Bond's breakfast.
Yeah.
And it's always consists of scrambled eggs. So it's either bacon and eggs and coffee. That's why I wanted to have the coffee. Because James Bond does not like tea. He likes coffee.
Oh, sacrilegious!
He does not like tea. He believes tea is what led down. Tea was what led to the downfall of the British Empire. And despite, what is James Bond's favorite drink?
Oh, shaken not stirred dry martini.
She's correct.
Because you're not like Scotch. You just have Scotch. We got Scotch.
I'm leaving.
I got one thing right today.
Despite that, the martini, specifically the Vesper martini, is very, synonymous with James Bond. He actually prefers Scotch. He drinks martinis when social. He drinks Scotch when he's.
So why does it say shaken, not stirred then?
Because that's a great good.
I'm just saying because I don't think I don't want my Scotch shaken.
Well, that's when he does a martini. So when you're making a martini, you can shake it or you can stir it. Now a lot of people shake it because it allows the martini to get colder, but it'll actually break off ice chips in it. So if you look at a shaken martini, you'll see little ice chips floating in it.
I am going to a bar tonight like shaken, not stirred.
Speaking of this, I'm loving all of this. Also, we haven't even touched the K-pop game that my dad brought, because I thought I knew K-pop, and when I was getting into K-pop with Girls' Generation G, do you know who Seven is? I was like, no.
Oh my God.
And he goes, you don't even watch it. And then he starts just putting a whole playlist on, and it's amazing.
Jeez. Talk about being lame.
We need to do like a stream with you.
So we're gonna drape a couple of locks over here.
Oh, we also have jam.
Well, that's gonna be on the next one.
I'm loving this multiple presentations.
So and then we are gonna top it.
Oh!
Man, I want like a picture so bad.
It's like when you made the yogurt sauce.
I know.
All right, and then the next one, so buttered toast is always generally in his breakfast. So we'll get some butter the toast.
We have this. We gotta get pictures of all
Should have probably not put a little butter. I'll bring this here.
So it's obvious that the TV show Archer is based off of James Bond.
Everybody's been trying to get us to watch Archer.
You have not watched
You
Archer?
haven't watched Archer?
No.
My phone's named Barry Dillon. Like my computer's named Mallory D. Archer.
Oh, we tried.
Archer is the greatest, but the Archer's favorite breakfast is actually called Eggs Woodhouse, which is an obscene recipe, but it's based off of James Bond love of scrambled eggs.
We're gonna have to make that. You have to come back again and do Archer's recipe.
What we could do if we do Eggs Woodhouse, it's going to be an expensive meal because it involves bechamel,
Wagyu beef or anything. Bechamel. I love bechamel.
It's a hollandaise sauce, bechamel, caviar. It's you'll die after one bite.
One lightly toasted deserves an expensive meal.
Right? What is your favorite type of jam?
Oh my God, so many.
I don't know if I have a favorite type.
That's
I prefer preserves over actual jam though. To be honest.
What are preserves?
Preserves are basically when you take the fruit and you're gonna put it like in some kind of, so like jellies are usually the juice, you pulp it, you take all the solids out.
Are preserves like in a pot where you like melt it down, the fruits?
You might put it down like with sugar or whatever. You do with everything, but you keep the whole fruit together. So like normally when you see strawberry preserves, like let's see this one, you'll see actually seeds. So right, you can see the seeds in there.
Yeah.
So you keep the whole fruit together. But if you look at a jelly, you're not going to see that.
I don't know about you guys, but my parents are very much Google it parents, or they would literally be like very much I don't know, or like let's figure it out.
Oh my God, eggs and jam and butter. I have to try this one.
What's your favorite way of eating the eggs?
With a fork. Preferably, I would like scrambled or sunny side up.
So my dad used to do the thing, and no, don't spoil it. So my dad used to yell at people a certain phrase, and they would laugh, and I thought he was rude. And I would be like, why are people laughing though? So I would use the same phrase and people would still laugh. And I'm like, okay, there's something I don't get. I didn't get it until I watched Titans with The Rock.
Wait, Titans the movie or something?
No, Titans is a series he has like Gladiator, but make it The Rock.
Yeah.
And you think you're too good, you're good enough to be DJ's bodyguard? I am. And The Rock walks in, he goes, it doesn't matter what you say. I was like, I said, wait, what?
I need to watch this. I need to watch this.
You got it, but it's about timing. It's about time. You have to time it right. Like for instance, what's your favorite drink? Oh. It doesn't matter what your drink is.
So he would do that. So he would do that in public, and me, I'm like, and people would start laughing. So I had no idea until Spidey had to show me all this, and he showed me all the phrases he used. And I was like, oh, my dad's been funny this entire time.
Your dad's been cool.
Just yelling at people. So, I cannot wait to have them. I want to do a Bradley cook-off film, like to have it when we go and visit the grandparents. I want to do it burgers.
And they're still in Korea. No, they're not in Korea anymore, right?
No, they were back in the States. Most of us are States.
Except for Brennan.
Freaking good. We're gonna have to bring everybody in to try everything.
Yeah, me and my siblings are very rarely on the same continent.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 3.
We're a family of
you're
threes.
threes and threes.
Yep, my mom's a 3, my aunt's a 3.
Your mom is not a 3.
Well, your mom.
Well, she's which we learned later.
More.
That's gonna be the Q&A with my mom. That would be an adventure.
Guys, leave a comment if you want Bria's mom on next.
Yes.
Because look how much we learned from her dad. This is insane.
Really, my dad makes the best schnitzel and spatzel. He has the most delicious ramen, keto and non-keto.
Well, we're gonna have to bring our resident Czech girl here to come try out some food.
Yes.
Alrighty.
You don't see me in public dressing at Marquetta.
Oh my God, this is so pretty.
Oh, and we have the original too, but this is going to be extremely oily and fatty.
I want the oily and fatty.
So you can help yourself.
All right.
So here we go. This is basically our take on
I need photos.
breakfast James Bond. So we have our scrambled eggs, smoked salmon, a creme fraiche with dill and lemon. We have with the Gruyere cheese and butter and jam. And normally we wash it down with coffee, but since we're slightly toasted, we will use scotch.
Yes, that was amazing!
You're right. Okay, we gotta get some boys in. We gotta get some people in. Marquetta, Pat.
Dad, you did wonderful.
Can I just say before everybody starts coming in and eating food and everything that I have never been so happy about a lightly toasted episode ever. You've brought so much energy and fun facts, and You're more normie than all of us. You belong here.
That's why you don't come in.
Food. Everybody come
Check
eat.
it out.
We don't know anything about Ian Fleming.
Did anybody know anything about Ian Fleming?
Ian Fleming.
You know the Bond novels.
Yeah, well, yes, he created Bond. Well, the thing about him is that he essentially was Bond. Like, Bond was a character of him. So he did grow up a very privileged upbringing. He went to school all over Europe, especially in Austria and Germany. So he went to like München, what is München?
Munich.
He's always
In
testing
the
you, and I
South
love
Germany.
it. I love it.
And he helped start what's called Unit 30 or Task Force T Force 30 or T Unit 30. But basically it was an idea of commandos who their job was not just to sneak behind enemy lines and stab people in the neck, but to also gather intelligence. And that's what probably is usually credited that it was actually a joint effort, US and British effort, to started things like the OSS, the CIA, all these intelligence service.
Really?
And so he was a part of it, of that. And then he, afterwards, he fucked off to Jamaica and he started writing novels.
That's really cool.
I thought the OSS was just in Spy Kids.
Right novels, you know?
So how many? This is the
All right,
just
guys.
with the creme fraiche.
Creme fraiche and
We can
tarragon.
cut these in half, guys. You want to try
Yes.
individual?
You guys made the creme fraiche?
No, we didn't. I was
He made everything.
She found creme fraiche. I thought we were gonna make it, so I told her to get sour cream in case we had to make it.
I did bring sour
But
cream.
she
This
found.
looks incredible. A smoked salmon looks
Gruyere.
All right, everyone needs to start
Yeah. Where are
trying
the forks?
some food, please. We have forks already in here.
Oh wait, is this fish with like jam?
Hey,
Yes.
okay, you're blocking the live camera.
You're blocking me.
That's so good.
You're like getting ready to battle and fight some, bad people, and it's so light and fluffy and filling. I'm just saying.
Part of the reason, so this is going back to Ian Fleming. So Ian Fleming created this great unit that was doing gangbusters, that was in the, where he thought he was going to lead this unit.
Yeah.
He thought, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be the commander of this unit. I'm gonna lead these guys into battle, blah, 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 blah. He was a lieutenant commander, so a major in the US Army, 04. And he thought he was gonna do that. Well, they said, no, we got someone else to do that.
soup for you.
So he basically is like, I spent all this time, I trained him up, I set up everything, I got this thing, and here's my time to lead this guy, my creation out in the battle, and you told me no. So I think that's kind of why, if you read the novels, James has a bit of a chip on his shoulder with authority, because he was kind of denied a lot of the things. Plus, he also gave the, James Bond actually does have a rank, anybody know? He had a rank, and he is Commander Bond.
Are you serious?
So, Commander
I
Bond.
feel like you should just do our
And-
reaction.
He watched Dragon Ball in the 80s, Dragon Ball Z. And
Oh, Dragon Ball was in the 80s?
Yeah.
This is the story I love that he tells. It's one of my favorite ones of how he brought Dragon Ball Z to the U.S.
Oh yeah, so I want to get this on camera because I've been denied this.
It was on camera earlier.
Oh.
No, that's the full story because he
But-
was
we got
brought
some
it
more
back.
jam and stuff.
I
there.
brought it back and like I said, I would sell like I had the VHS tapes, but I would sell people like, if you want a copy, hey man, give me $25, you could copy my tapes. This is in the 90s, early 90s, so.
So
And I'm in college, so $25 went a long way back then. So I would say, hey, you want this or whatever, or I'd get the wall scrolls, or I'd get figures. I would go like because my parents were still in Korea. Every year I got a free round trip ticket, and I had a lot of friends in Japan. So I would stop either going or coming back from Japan. I would buy up a lot of stuff, come back and sell
He
it.
was living all our dreams, basically.
Like me.
So-
You are awesome.
Oh, literally.
That's where he gets
But,
the problem.
I have to call him sir.
But
so you're not
when
not
they
sir.
started doing fan subs of it, so back then before, and I got a cool story with Anime Go and Chuck Woodhead. Before, like a lot of animation companies, like right now, you got freaking everyone and their mother can get a series, sub it, get it out. Back then, it was really hard. Like I don't know if you ever actually did subtitles.
It's
for
terrible.
it.
We do it a lot.
It's really time. I used to do them too, and I'm like, I'd be sitting there listening, like he said this. Okay.
How about this?
Here's the time. Rewind. What's that timestamp? All right, let me go to this.
Like fan subs, like
Yeah,
It is the worst.
doing fan subs, right? So that was, yeah, it was
What?
it was.
I used to do that for like Czech
like if I saw something in English that was interesting enough, I would like do the subtitles.
Dude,
Oh,
you were
that's
the unsung heroes of the internet. I love you guys.
Yeah.
So that was great. So yeah, we would do it, and then it was, man. But then I noticed something. I noticed like all the fan subs that were being sold had the same tracking marks as my original tapes.
Oh.
So I'm like, I can't be mad because I gave them. I sold them like, yeah, dude, I want to see this.
We're gonna come after them.
But I was like, I want to, you know, because I was like, yeah, man, you want a copy of them, dude? You know, we had the dual tape deck. It's like, yeah, $25, bro. I'll give you a copy. Right?
What's up?
And then it's like, yeah, you start seeing them around. Because I remember I went to Anime Weekend one time, and it actually wasn't even called Anime Weekend. It was called, because back then they called it Japanimation or all stuff like that. It wasn't anime, even though anime was around. It wasn't like the official term.
Nothing like
there was,
Comic-Con.
yeah. But it was like a small one. It was Japanimation Weekend, and I'm going there, and there's people there that had screening rooms for different things, and they're like Dragon Ball, and I'm like, they're like, BJ, Dragon Ball, and I'm like, all right, cool, we're gonna go in there, and I'm like,
Me.
the same commercials and everything. Like, y'all didn't even cut out the commercials. Like, yeah, no. I said, this is my tape. Like, this is my tape, you know? And they were selling them like box sets for like, yeah, $300 and we'll give you this box set of Dragon Ball. And it was like, you know, at that time I only had like because I left some at home, but I had like the Cell Saga and the Android Saga. And at that time, so they were selling this for like, yeah, $300. And it was like, I was like, these motherfuckers. And then another one I got sort of, well, someone might have beat me to the punch, but I went back and I remember when Street Fighter 2, the animated movie came out. And that used to be my jam. My wife will tell you she saw that movie. It was like on repeat. It'd play, rewind, and then it'll repeat again. And I came back and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be smart. I was like, if you want to copy it, it's $50. $50 this time. And,
He's a bigger nerd
But
than
truly-
all of us.
For the Marvel reacts and everything, he's very, he knows everything. And it's not even just like that nerd, like, you don't know. It's like, oh, no. So the reason why it's green now, really it was blue. And then it was this, and this. And I'm like, okay. What I enjoyed, I have to ask you so much about Loki now, because I just saw that. And
No, you can't keep cheating. Stop.
Right, but also, because like when Naruto came on, was it Adult Swim? When it first came out, and all was said, I remember we were watching it, and you were so disappointed on the dub.
yeah, the dub.
Originally, it was just Cartoon Network. It got moved to Adult Swim with Shippuden.
Yeah.
Yes, and so when Shippuden hit America, we were about like 200 episodes in.
Yeah, we were when Shippuden hit, we were way past that. And it was like, yeah, you guys are playing catch up. Go ahead, good. Actually, I was in BNOC. I was in a school, and I had just gotten in a whole bunch of. It was the what was it? The tune-in exam at the time. This is way back, and I was like, I just got all these DVDs in. And I was in the school, and I'm like, I gotta find a place to watch this. So I'm like, I go to the day room, and so I'm in the barracks. I didn't have my own TV and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm in school. This is not my permanent place. So like in the day room, they had a TV and they had a DVD player. So I'm like, cool. So I'm watching it, and I'm watching. All my friends are coming in, and they're like, what the fuck are you watching? And I was like, dude, just Ninja's going through an exam. Just deal with it. They're like, but why is he wearing orange? He's a ninja. And I'm like,
Don't worry about it.
just watch. And then that was when, during that time was when it was the Rock Lee and Gara fight. And I was sitting there like, oh my God. And they were like, what the fuck? I was like, dude, he just took off weights off his freaking legs, man. Do you understand what this means? Shit's about to get real. It's like, go on. And they were like, okay. So then more and more people were like, yeah. So we were actually getting ready to be released. We're in formation, and we're about to get released for the day. And I was like, all right, cool. And they're like, hey, are you gonna go back and watch that ninja shit? And I'm like, yeah, man, we'll be there. I'm like, okay. So.
Oh man.
This was really good.
Serge and Mickey just had like a slight orgasmic experience on the
I did
side.
have
Can I
a slight
get my-
out-of-body experience, taking a bite with the jam and all this together.
Yeah,
and
like
cinnamon.
the first
Oh my
plate
God.
was good, a little plain.
It got better.
And then
Oh,
you
yeah.
add the fish and it gets better. And then somehow you add the bread with the butter, with the jam and eggs and cheese and fish. All these ingredients. And you're like,
It worked.
It's that Gruyere, baby. It's that Gruyere.
yes.
They did. I saw Serge. He was like,
Recipe, this was really good.
This is like he would make the he
This
would
is
make
a
breakfast all the
solid
time, but
breakfast.
this one was a very common one. That's why I didn't realize when I came here, most people don't like that smoked fish or smoked salmon with eggs. I'm like, what do you mean?
But that's actually very common, and that's very common in Europe. You go, especially if you go places, they'll have.
Oh, is it again?
We're not near a coast.
Oh, but you have a ton of salmon here. It's a great fish market.
Man.
There's Costco salmon, man. It's like it's not the pastrami
It's
slice.
No.
This is really good. Wherever you got this from.
I went to Fresh Time. Dudes. I went a lot shopping the last 3 days to try to find everything.
Well, I'll tell you what. Next time I come back, I will make actually a really cool meal.
You are coming back.
And I'll buy everything because it'll be really expensive.
No, you're fine.
No, no.
Lightly Toasted needs one expensive, out of experience meal here because you guys have been all so loyal.
What would you like to make? Because I would love.
So we can either do what?
You have so many good.
We could do steak Diane.
Ooh, that is a good one. I know Mom really liked that one.
We could do schnitzel.
Yes!
Schnitzel
you know I love a
cordon
Jaeger
bleu.
schnitzel. I've never had cordon bleu, actually.
Yeah, you had a big Emma's. That giant size cordon bleu.
That's what a cordon bleu.
Yeah, with the Swiss and the ham.
Oh my
For the
God.
next one, you can make the poll. And then we can have them decide.
Oh yeah, give us
Yes.
a couple recipes you want, and
Okay.
we'll have everybody decide what they want you to make.
All right, cool. So
The schnitzel and spatzel
you,
has to be on
Hunter.
there.
schnitzel and spitzel, steak Diane. We could do ceviche since it's summertime.
Yes. You know what's funny?
Let's
I
see
didn't
what
like.
else.
I didn't feel like as a kid. I was like, this is gross. I went to college. I was like, oh, my dad's been cooking this for a minute.
Let's see what else we could do. We could do. Oh, we could do coco van.
Yeah.
Do coco van.
What your ramen has to be on there?
We could do ramen.
Cause he does
Okay.
the full thing, does with the pork roast that he comes in as a beautiful color.
Always
We're
be a
always
big hit
like-
on this channel.
All right, we'll give them these.
So if
five
we're gonna do,
options.
especially if we do, chasu, or we're gonna do tonkatsu ramen. If we're gonna do it from scratch, it's got to be a multi-day thing.
Yeah.
Is this what
we got to
you
get
need?
the bones. We got to boil the bones. We got the Well, these are beef bones. We need pork bones.
We need pork bones.
Yeah, for
No.
tonkatsu. But yeah, it's gonna have to be a multi-day thing.
We got
If
this.
we're
Can we do
gonna
a
do-
challenge? Ramen challenge.
I can't challenge your dad.
I feel like my
makes better eggs
ramen
than
can
me.
step up. I feel like that'd be fun.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you can find Naruto, the actual so
Oh, Narutomaki? They sell that up at one market.
they do.
Yeah, I have some at home.
They actually at one market.
Yeah.
I asked
what's
them, and they're like,
happening?
"No, I don't. We don't have any. Maybe they were out." So
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like the frozen shit. Yeah.
okay. So if you can find, because I've been looking for, I've been hitting the Asian stores. I'm like, "Hey, you guys got Naruto?"
There's a bunch.
And they're like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, no, I meant the food, not the
Not the character.
not the character." But if you can find, because that's the only thing that's missing is actual true Naruto. And
I would love to try that.
it's good stuff.
right,
it's good
guys.
with it.
But yeah, we're right on.
You just heard his 5 options. I'm pretty sure we're gonna try to list them out for you. You get a poll and everything.
Yeah, what are you still doing here?
What? Yeah. Why are you
Yeah,
still
why are you
here?
still
We're
here?
just eating and having fun. Not
Bye.
that you eat it.
Go and try this at home, obviously.
Bree, careful.
I was there. I'm holding.
I got you. All right, guys.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you. He'll be back. Happy Father's Day to everybody there celebrating, not celebrating with fathers. If you're a father, you know what, guys. We love you. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time. Stay
Hey!
toasted.
Oh wait, no.
Bye.
Can you come, Hunter? Please, can you come close?
Yeah.
Dad, could you please put that down? We need the.
Do it.
And the other side.
The biceps.
Ah!
You see mine compared to
I need that footage.
It's so
I
sad.
realized with slow-mo, you don't have to do the slow-mo yourself.
It's just natural, you know. It just happens.
Stand in post.